Hey there, it's Susan Pierce Thompson, and welcome to the weekly vlog. So here we are at the tail end of 2021. It's been a long year, and it's holiday time, it's holiday season, and we have a course running right now called Bright Line Holiday. And for this week's vlog, I thought I would give you the surprise, the delight of some guest appearances from some Bright Lifers who have contributed to our Bright Line Holiday course, especially in the module where we talked about how to put words to our no thank you. And because a lot of us have gotten extra practice around that this time of year, I wanted to share with you some really sweet thoughts that our Bright Lifers have come up with. I want to start with Danny, who is a Bright Lifer who came up with a way to let those hosts offer us hospitality when it's clear that they really want to offer us something. Take a listen.
I don't know about anybody else in here, but I have the most aggressively kind in-laws in the world. And God forbid I don't take any little thing that they offer. So what I found is I like to say, "Oh, thank you so much. I am so satisfied. I am so satisfied right now." There's something about they can't argue with me if I'm if I'm satisfied. Um, and then the other tip I could offer is oftentimes they just want to feel like they've given you something. And so I'll think on things that I could say I would take, like, "Oh, you know what? I'm not hungry, but I'd love a glass of water." Or I could use some lotion. My hands are dry. Or do you have any chapstick around here? Just like something that they can give you so that they feel like they've given you something and it scratches that itch for them and everybody can move on.
And now we're going to go to Tony. Now, Tony's approach to saying no thank you and giving an explanation falls on a continuum that I never really thought of until right now. It's sort of the continuum from offer very little, just say your no thank you, all the way to offer a thorough, detailed, rich explanation. Now, on this end of that continuum is something called the broken record technique. This is a technique that is taught to people who are recovering from codependency. And it's basically just say no thank you and then keep saying it. If they keep asking you questions or pushing or inviting again, you just act like a broken record and you just keep repeating your no thank you with no elaboration or additional description whatsoever. And eventually, they will hear your no thank you. It will sink in that you're actually just politely declining. Now, on the other end of the continuum, maybe perhaps the bookend on the other end of that continuum is Tony's approach. And check out how he says no thank you. After he's said he doesn't eat sugar and flour and he said no thank you, if the person comes back with any pressure or any question or curiosity, check out what he says.
But what I have said to people, like if you would say, "Oh, would you like, aren't you going to have a cupcake? Or aren't you going to have this or that?" And I say, "No, thank you." And if they say, "Well, why not?" Or, "Don't you want to have what everybody else is having?" I say, and I have said this to my family and I say it to other people, is, "Well, actually, if you want to know, I'm in a longevity study for a weight management and health to see if I will live longer if I don't eat sugar and flour, and if I eat uh, 3 meals a day and no snacks, and if I'm eating whole food, plant based, and to see if it helps me live longer and healthier." And just to give you an update, I've lost 90 pounds and I've actually come off 27 different medications and I've eliminated 12 health weight related conditions as a result of doing this for the last 3 years. And that's why I have to say no. And
Wow. I bet that silences them. What do people say coming back to that? So you
well,
say this to folks. What do they say?
if
I love it.
I mean, they say, and it's true. Every one of that is true.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not covering up anything. I'm just being honest with them why I do it, and I do. I fill that form out every month at the end of the month. I mean, since I started, and so they say, they either say, "Oh, well, good for you,"
Yeah.
or they say, "Hmm, I'd like to talk more with you about that at a later time." And if they're a jerk, they'll say something unkind.
Isn't that epic? I just love that. I just love that. And yeah, they got nothing to say after that, right? It's like, oh, okay. Oh my gosh. And Tony's not alone. A lot of our Bright Lifers have found that when they give additional explanation, especially in the health realm, it can really help to sort of snuff out the further pressure around it. So finally, I want to go to Bright Lifer Tia, who so wisely reminds us that when we say no thank you, it's one thing to just be saying no to one thing, but we need to replace it with something else. And that's a tried and true piece of wisdom in the addiction recovery world is when you're trying to, or the habit change world, when you're letting go of one habit, be sure to replace it with another. So check out how Tia handled that at this party that she went to.
There's tons to do. And I really hit the goal of getting to know the different people in their lives, because that was really the whole point. Come together and really spend that time. And that's what I always hear you say that. And I was like, have I done that every time I've gone to a social event? And I feel like, no, I'm trying to get to the edges and hide or something. So at that point, I found it was a lovely mix of going in and out and being able to actually help. I doted on grandmothers. I found one of my favorite grandmothers and, got the pinches on the cheeks and I love her to this day. But so it just became just a little love fest of being able to have that, spend the time, like fill up on love versus fill up on food, which I know would have taken my not only time, but my whole energy and focus would have been on food instead of people. And at the end, I let people fill in their spots around the table because I knew that would be the hot spot for the food, just being like, here, eat this. But people eventually just stopped asking me about food after a while. And I sat next to the baby that was eating his little snack. And I just sat there fine, taking care of the baby, helping out still. Even the baby was trying to give me his cute little carrot sticks and things. And I looked at him and I said, you get me. You really get me. You know how I eat. And then I also politely said, but no, thank you. I've already eaten. And so that's how I spent my time, just loving on everyone and meeting a lot of people that I probably wouldn't have even been able to meet truly if I wasn't focused or if I was focused on the food.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for our Bright Lifers who contributed this week. And there are so many ways to put words to our no thank you, but just the internal reminder that living bright is the biggest gift that we can give to ourselves and to the people that we love who are around us, because when we show up as our best selves, we bless everyone around us as well. Happy holidays. That's the weekly vlog. I'll see you next week.